to cooking with the cool dad again. And by popular demand, the dogs are back out with me and creating havoc as we go. Okay, so this week, by request, I'm actually doing something not in the air fryer. See, air fryer basket's in the drainer still. Just washed it. I've had a few people say, hey, we don't have an air fryer. Can you do something that we can do maybe with the kids, the family, that doesn't involve an air fryer because we don't have one? Of course, I said, sure. Here's your first hint. This is going to be something that's just so customizable. It can be done with almost anything you have in your refrigerator. Anything you like, anything, you can change it up however you like. But this is the basics to it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And right now, fun's an important thing because everybody's going a little bit stir crazy. If you couldn't tell. But we're going to have fun doing this. Allergies are still at an all-time high, so bear with me. I do not have COVID, I have allergies, like I keep telling people. You might notice some background music today. That is courtesy of NCS, No Copyright Sounds. You can find them on Spotify and on YouTube. Great people, copyright-free music. So I would rather have my favorite radio station playing in the background. Shout out to the folks at 95X, 95.7 here in Syracuse, New York. Miss you guys. Glad you guys are keeping going. Thank you for keeping the days going. It's just a shout out for them. Appreciate it. Huge shout out to all first responders, nurses, healthcare workers of all types, doctors, everybody. Especially the research people who are trying to figure out how to beat this bullshit. So, props to everybody on that. Thank you to our sanitation workers, to our DPW people. I mean, everybody that's still keeping going, all the essential workers. Just a huge thank you. And to those of you that want to talk smack to small businesses that are able to stay open, just don't. Really, just don't. I saw something recently and it just pissed me off because, listen, you got a small business following the rules, staying open, and you're going to, accuse them of taking advantage of a situation. Shame on you. Okay. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. Today's recipe is the ultimate breakfast sandwich. And we're not talking no McDonald's, Burger King bullshit. We're talking about a legit, homemade, good, hearty breakfast sandwich that will fill you up. So, let's get going with it. Okay, so here's the thing. As I said, this is ultimately customizable. You can use, I'm going to start with the bread. You can use whatever bread you want. If you've got white, wheat, rye, English muffins, bagels, hell, flatbread. I mean, you can do this with naan bread. There's so many different ways you can do this. I am currently using it's called Marathon bread with dried cranberries from Wegmans. It's a custom bread that is well liked in this household. Just do it back up here because I don't want it going bad. There we go. So, we are going to start with the bread. And what you want to do, pardon me, sorry, I just washed my hands again, so I don't want to wipe my nose, but the sniffles are kicking in hard. Scooch. There we are. Now, first thing I want to do, I've got my pan on, I would say a medium heat. This particular burner runs low, 1 through 9, high. I have it set at about 5.5 to 5 3/4 right now. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to butter the bread. Again, I use real butter. If you want to use an alternative or a substitute, margarine, oleo, any of those, feel free. Hey, this is your sandwich in the long run. Make it the way you want it. This is just a basic idea of how it all works. I will note that if you're using a custom bread like this, it can vary your times a little bit. There's no solid, oh my God, it's going to take 10 minutes to do this. It's to your taste, just like everything in this kitchen. to taste. Now, flip that over. I'll have to wipe that off when I'm done with some paper towel. There we are. So, both sides of the bread are buttered. Into the pan it goes. Now that's sunflower or pumpkin seed, something to that effect. All the good seeds on there. I know, I look like I'm ready to do a marathon, don't I? Now I am going to clean my plate off, get some of the excess butter off there, because who needs all that? And done with that. So let me put the butter back in the fridge. Scooch. Okay, now, while the bread is starting to cook, let me grab my spatula. I'm going to prep my eggs. Now, I'm using 2 eggs because I know that's pretty much what I like. This is my breakfast today. And you can use, if you want to do it with 1 egg, if you want to do it with egg whites, if you want to do it with just yolks, if you want to do it with egg substitute, beaters, whatever the hell they're called these days. That's entirely your choice. Again, ultimate and customizable. That's what this is about. This is a recipe that works for everybody. Sipping the coffee. Grabbing a fork. Now, I'm going to scramble up my eggs. And again, keeping an eye on this at the same time. Now, here's the other thing. If you're doing scrambled eggs, some people like to add milk to their eggs. Some people like to add creamer to their eggs. Usually unflavored creamer from what I've seen. I can't imagine French vanilla flavored eggs. That's nope. But hey, if it works for you, run with it. You know, embrace the fun, embrace the crazy. I am going to put a little bit of Colby Jack shred in here because dairy, it's good for you. I will be adding more cheese as well. Now, give this a quick stir. You'll notice that the butter that's on top has mostly melted. So, I'm going to flip these. Now you see the bottom, it's melted, but they're not really toasted yet. But it lets the butter soak in. So, let me re-agitate my eggs. Now, if you want to add salt, pepper, or whatever to your eggs, go for it. I like it just like that. So, here's the fun part, and this is where you're going to get a little bit of a learning curve. Watching till your bread is grilled to perfection. Grilled to perfection depends on you. Some people like it dark, some people like it light, some people like it in the middle. Do it, do you. Have fun with it. That's the whole point to cooking, is to have fun. I don't get into a lot of my backstory all the time, but I grew up with my closest grandparents were on my dad's side. They were off the boat Italian and came into this country through Ellis Island and everything. And I'll tell you, I grew up with a true Italian appreciation for food. Food is fun. Food is life. Food can fix just about anything. Unless you have food allergies, then you just have to be a little more careful. And I'm actually going to flip these again. Okay, so we're cooking nice. I'm going to bump this up to just past 6 now. And you'll find, never be afraid to experiment. You know, it's the worst that's going to happen is you're going to get something that just doesn't work. It happens. That's why it's called experimentation. I've been talking with a couple of different people about ideas for future videos. I may actually do one where we go over, speaking of experimenting, how to make your own flour tortillas for home. It's super simple, but that'll be coming up. Right now we're just waiting for our bread to grill properly. And what I'm going to do is, after the bread's done, we'll cook the eggs. Once the eggs are done, we'll cook the meat, and then we'll put it all together. But I'm going to let you along for the ride on this one instead of doing a bunch of choppy hops. Of course, this pan is not the best. I openly admit that. But it's still here. Right now, it's not a good time to replace pans, but that's a whole different story. There we are. And the nice thing about whatever you use on your bread, your butter, your margarine, your oleo, whatever, also works as a lubricant, pan lubricant for your eggs. Now, this is a non-stick pan-ish. This pan doesn't owe me any money. Had it for a while. Some people like to just let them sit. See, I like to turn my bread on a regular basis, but that's me. You see, we're starting to get that nice golden brown going on. And the neat thing about this bread is with the cranberries in it, the cranberries actually caramelize a little bit to add just that tart sweetness to it, which is fantastic, in my opinion. Let's see, a couple more minutes and that'll be ready. Now, once the bread is done, we will switch that over to the plate, which you should be able to see everything here. I framed it for that. Keep my eggs circulating here. And have another sip of coffee. Not quite a day for Irish coffee yet, but we may do that one day. Oh yeah, we're starting. We're getting close, folks. Another couple minutes and we'll switch over. Actually, I'm going to strike that reverse. I'm going to do that in a slightly different order now that I'm thinking about it, because I know how my eggs do on here. Okay, there we go. Nice. Pop these over here. Now, before I throw anything else in the pan, I'm going to grab my cheese, which today is provolone. Throw a slice on each side. And again, if you don't want it, you can do Swiss, you can do cheddar, you can, any cheese you want to put on there. My meat for today is turkey. Why? Because that's what was in the fridge. 1, 2. And again, whatever meat you want, as much or as little as you want, it's really up to you. That's the beauty of this. That is the beauty of cooking at home. Now, obviously the turkey's already been cooked. This is a warm-up. We just want to kind of heat it up a little bit, give it that nice toasty look. You see a nice little bit of brown, got some seeds left over from the bread. Now, we're going to bring this over. And I don't mind when my meat folds up a little bit like that. No dirty jokes. And there we go. Now, here comes the fun part. There we go. Put that in the sink with some water in it. Make my cleanup easier later. Okay. Now here's the thing with eggs. Everybody likes their eggs a little bit different. If you want to do a sunny side up egg on your sandwich, I'll go for it. Personally, the only way I eat eggs is scrambled. That's just me. That is a cool dad thing. The cool dad only eats his eggs scrambled. I'm an adult, I'm allowed. Now, the nice thing is, because my stovetop was never installed properly by the previous owners of the house, and because the pan's a little wonky, it all comes to one corner, which is actually a nice thing to me, because it keeps my eggs in a more compact form factor, which makes it easier to put them on a sandwich. I'm just going to kind of stir around a little bit as they solidify. And as you stir around, you want to kind of bring it all together, get it into a nice sandwich-sized form factor. Anyhow, if you want to just screw it, you'll see as I'm coming together, it makes sense what I'm saying. It'll come together. When you put cheese into eggs, though, it takes a little bit longer to get that nice solidified egg patty. But, in the long run, totally worth it. There we go. And you see how that's kind of solidifying there. I also don't like my eggs running. So I will cook them a little bit longer to make sure that they are not running. The nice thing about this kind of sandwich is it's similar enough, and you can make it similar enough to what you're going to get at a fast food drive-thru that the kids can get a kick out of it. But you can make it with the right ingredients also to make it healthy at the same time. So fool the kids, give them something healthy, and let them think you did fast food. I mean, worst case scenario, tell them you got the fast food and unwrapped it for them. There we go. She's starting to come together nice. Almost there. And I know this is kind of a weird thing to do a one long cut, and I don't normally do that, but this is a very simple recipe, and I wanted you guys, all of you, to really get the concept of how little time this truly takes. This is something quick and easy that you can do in the morning with plenty of coffee. And if anybody wants to know, I drink Death Wish coffee pretty much exclusively. In my opinion, the best coffee on the market. Strong, but excellent flavor. I throw a little bit of French vanilla creamer in there, and I'm good to roll. Okay, my egg patty is almost done. Another minute or two here. And like I said, this really is to give you a true concept of how long this really takes. Not very. So if you guys have, if you want to get stuff done in the morning so the kids can get to their schooling, or so you can go take the dogs for a walk afterwards, or whatever it is you're doing to stay sane right now during COVID-19 business, this is quick and easy and good for that. Yeah, almost there. Let that sit just another minute, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. A little more coffee. Okay, while I'm letting that sit for a minute, I'm going to throw the cheese and the turkey back in the fridge because I don't want them going bad. There we are. Put the bread away in the cabinet, and see, while this is cooking, I'm getting all cleaned up, so when it's done, all I need to do is enjoy it. Bam. Okay. I'm going to set that right on top of there. A couple little pieces left. I can squeeze. Ooh, that's warm. That's hot. Came right off the pan, so it's hot. Now, take my bread, put that on top, and bam. Breakfast sandwich fit for a king. There you go, folks. Now I'll bring it back up and we'll do our closeout. We'll be good to go. And that is how to make a breakfast sandwich at home. It'll make your kids never want to go to fast food again. Possibly your significant other as well. So, I want to wrap this up by saying I hope you enjoyed today. And like I said, I did a straight through on that one because I really wanted you guys to see just how little time it really takes to make an awesome meal. Obviously, if you're making for 8 or 10 people, it might take a little bit longer. But, I mean, per sandwich, you're talking maybe 10 minutes, if. And again, it comes down to a lot of your preferences as well. How do you like this done? How do you like that done? You can shorten and lengthen the time depending on how you want things cooked. It's entirely up to you. However, battery's almost dead. Yay. I want to say one thing. Sorry, I'm going to reach past the camera real quick because I'm not done talking yet today. With everything that's going on, I was saying before, thank you to all the frontline people. Thank you to the people still going. And to you, those of you out there that feel the need to be crotchety bastards to everybody, just curl up and be by yourselves. Forget about the rest of the world till this is over with. Then go back to being crotchety elsewhere. The rest of us are here to be kind to others. We're here to help each other out. Because together we can get through all this. Excuse me. Together we can come out the other side better than we went in. I have seen so many acts of kindness in the last couple of weeks that it's absolutely blown my mind. In my years working as an EMT, I always said we'd see the best of people and the worst of people, and sometimes in the same 5 minutes. But it was always seemed like the worst was always the more. There was always more of that. Lately, it seems to be turning around a little bit. Maybe we're seeing more of the nice, more of the kind. I think it's a pretty damn good thing. Maybe it's because I'm a little idealistic, because I grew up watching Star Trek, in a world where everybody was nice to each other, where you didn't have to worry about money because everything worked together. Everybody did their part, got along, and everybody was happy-ish. I know there's a lot more to it. I'm just saying. And no, I'm not promoting socialism or any of that. I'm just saying, be kind to people. There's more dividends in kindness than there will ever be in cruelty. Always remember that. The dividends from kindness are nonstop. You may not always see it right away, but you will. And when you do, it'll be an amazing thing. I know, Sam. I love you too. It's what you get when you want the dogs back. But until then, like I said, be kind to each other. Tolerate each other if you can't be kind. Don't be mean. It's not worth it. Make some food, because food fixes everything, and food makes everybody feel better. Again, food allergies, I know. But you know what I mean. My goodness. My goodness. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Again, thank you to NCS, No Copyright Sounds. They're on Spotify and YouTube for copyright-free music. Thank you to the dogs for providing some background noise and chaos. And thank you to our first responders, to our frontline people, to everybody that's keeping this thing going while we're stuck here. Thank you, Merlin. I love you too. Have a great one, everybody. I'll see you guys next week because there will be another video. People like them, I'll keep making them. Catch y'all next time.